O Israel. The call never died. From the south, the lost sheep rise. From Mississippi soil where the history haven't changed in the land, but the promise still steady. Names got taken, truth got buried, but the word still breathing, never went missing. Lost sheep scattered, still hear the tone. Shepherd calling, saying bring them home. Not a rumor, not a myth. Ancient bloodline covered in stitch, no crown on head, no throne in sight. But kings still walk when they live upright. Priests in order, hearts in check. Walking the path of Melchizedek.
Order of Melchizedek. Hey, stand righteous, stand correct. No beginning, no end, we said. Walk in truth, no disrespect.
Order of Melchizedek.
Order of Melchizedek.
Lost sheep found, hearts reset.
Lost sheep found, hearts reset.
From Tupelo we represent.
From Tupelo we represent.
Israel rise.
Remember that.
Remember that. Not here for hate, not here for noise. Here to rebuild men, women, boys. From prison walls to broken homes. Still hear our voice through flesh and bone. Teach the law, apply the way. Faith works, lived every day. Not traditions handed down, but ancient paths we walking now. 12 tribes breathing, still intact. Truth don't change, that's fact. Scattered, warning, gathered again. Written long before the pen.
Order of Melchizedek. Hey, stand righteous, stand correct.
From Mississippi mud, truth don't die, it testify. We moving with order. Delta dirt, hang out root. Truth in the soil, fire in the truth. Tupelo night, spirit don't sleep. We're still calling the lost sheep. Took our name, buried our sound. Truth stayed alive underground. We were scattered, now we this that order now. Woo.
Stand up, we in up.
We in order now.
Woo. Truth too loud, bring it all.
Can't ignore it now.
Woo. Chosen rise, we rise.
We restored it now. Yeah. Back to basic Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
Word go deep, no delay.
Oh yeah.
Wednesday prayer, tapping line.
Woo.
Seek the most, high on time.
Woo.
Get your way to Friday grind.
Woo.
Discipline, align your mind.
Woo.
Don't just hear, come learn the way. Shabbat class every Saturday.
Who we be?
Israel.
What we on?
Discipline.
Tuesday.
Base.
Wednesday.
Prayer.
Friday.
Level up.
Level up.
Woo. This ain't religion, this order. Yeah. This ain't religion, no, 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 no. Yeah, yeah. This ain't religion, no, 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 no. This ain't religion. This ain't religion. This ain't religion.
Israel, keep the faith. Israel, keep the commandments. Lost sheep. Order of Melchizedek. Tupelo, Mississippi. Israel, keep the faith. Israel, keep the commandments. Lost sheep. Order of Melchizedek. Michael, keep the faith. Stephen, keep the commandments. Cortez, keep the faith.
Shalom, shalom, Hebrew, can you hear me?
Commandments. Israel, keep the faith.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear you loud and clear.
All praise to the Most High. Shalom to the family in the chat. It's a blessing and an honor to be back in the building once again, my beloved brethren. Look like it's just me and you at the moment, huh?
Yeah, for the moment, I'm gonna let the vibes play for one more round, and then we're gonna get started.
Hey, play that slow jump, man.
I'm playing it. You can't hear it.
I can't hear it.
Yeah,
I can't hear that.
Yeah, it's playing right now.
Israel, keep the faith.
It ain't playing on this end, bro.
Probably need to go back.
Israel, keep the commandments. Lost sheep. Order of Melchizedek, Tupelo, Mississippi. Israel, keep the faith. Israel, keep the commandments. Lost sheep. Order of Melchizedek, Michael, keep the faith. Stephen, keep the commandments. Cortez, keep the faith. KG, keep the commandments. Israel, keep the faith. Israel, keep the commandments. Lost sheep. Order of Melchizedek, Tupelo, Mississippi.
All right, brothers and sisters, I gotta let this play one more time. We're gonna get started. I promise you, we're gonna get started. All praise.
We love the Most High. We serve the Most High. Tupelo, Mississippi. Israel, keep the faith. Israel, keep the commandments. Lost sheep. Order of Melchizedek, Tupelo, Mississippi. Israel, keep the faith. Israel, keep the commandments. Lost sheep. Order of Melchizedek, Michael, keep the faith. Stephen, keep the commandments. Cortez, keep the faith. KG, keep the commandments. Israel, keep the faith.
All right. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Brothers and sisters, shalom. I hope everybody is having a beautiful Tuesday, and welcome to Back to the Basics Tuesdays. Before we get started, can everybody hear me? Drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me clearly. Drop a 1 in the chat if you can hear me clearly. Like always, welcome to Back to the Basics Tuesdays. Welcome. Oh, okay. All praises. There go my brother Stephen. Hey. I can let you do your thing now. I thought I was gonna have to do it. Come on in and do your thing, sir.
Man, all praise to the Most High, man. Glad to be here. I want to say shalom to all the house of Israel that's scattered to the four corners of the earth. It's your brethren, Order Melchizedek, Tupelo, Mississippi. We're in the building. Man, I just want to praise the Most High, man, for being gracious, for being kind, generous, being a faithful God, for his son, Yeshua HaMashiach, who hung, bled, and died for the sins of his people. He didn't just die, he lived for us as well. But family, we glad to be here. The Most High allowed us to see another Tuesday, Back to the Basic Tuesday. We want to thank him for watching over us throughout the week. We want to just give him all praises, honor, and glory. So family, welcome. We got a great class prepared for you tonight. The title of the lesson tonight is "The Tree is the Finish Line." So look, get your pen or your pencil. Grab your notebook, notepad, get you something to write on. But most importantly, get your sword out. Get your Bible, follow along with us in the scriptures. Don't take our word for anything. Study to show thyself approved. And as we always like to say on this channel, we are not a hate group. We don't hate anyone because of their race, their religion, or their gender. We are a Bible-based group, and we teach from the 1611 King James Version Bible, including the Apocrypha. So family, with that being said, welcome. Hey, hit the like button. And for those of you that haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. It don't cost you nothing. It's free. So come on in. Let's have a good time in the Lord. Let's dig in these scriptures. But before we do that, I got to introduce my brethren on the panel with me. I got my brother Cortez, the chosen one in the building. Shalom, Hebrew.
Shalom, shalom, my beloved brother. How you feeling, Hebrew?
Man, feeling good like a Hebrew should. That's right.
Shalom, shalom to the family in the chat once again, and to the speaker to the night. Salute and a big old shalom to you, my beloved brother. Man, let's get it.
Shalom, shalom, brother. Shalom. All praises.
All praise to the Most High. And we got the teacher for the night in the building, the young gunner, the forerunner, the burly of the burliest. My
Really,
brother,
really.
KG is in the building. Shalom, Hebrew.
Shalom, brothers and sisters in the chat. Shalom, my brothers on the panel. I am not burly. I am an average man doing the work of the Most High.
All praises.
All
Laughter is
praise.
good for the
Hey,
soul.
hey, Step, you made him stutter a little bit, boy. He stuttered a little bit.
All praises. But with that being said, I turn it over to the teacher for the night. Do your thing, Hebrew.
Praises, praises, praises. Brothers and sisters, we're not gonna. Well, we always say that and end up going right past a little bit over the 2 hour mark, but I don't plan to be before you too long tonight. But this will be the closing of the 613 classes that we have been having. Let me see. Today's project says it keeps cutting out and says waiting to start. I don't know what's going on that end. You might have to
Hey,
reload it.
ask if anybody else having the same issue.
Is anybody else having the same issues that MC to the X project is having? If so, you may have to reload your page and see if that works. Hopefully, ain't nobody else having this problem. But try reloading your page project, and hopefully it'll cut that out for you. Let me get to okay. Let me. All right. That's a little bit. How they look on the screen, y'all?
Yeah. You can blow it up just a little bit more.
Just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Salaki, before you get started, bro, I'd like to say something right quick.
All right, come on.
To the family, man, let's try something a little different, y'all. Um, I'll challenge y'all for Brother Stephen's lesson Friday. I challenge y'all to invite 2, 3 at the most, if you can, but at least 2. Invite 2 people to come along on the channel and watch the lesson with you, and then you challenge them to bring 2, and then they challenge somebody to bring 2, and before we know it, we'll keep this thing growing. You know what I'm saying? Because I invited a couple people. I don't know if they on or not, but if not, they'll probably watch the rebroadcast. But I'll just be thinking of ways, man, to try to grow this ministry and to try to get the Most High word out. So I challenge y'all to do that. Let's try that Friday. You know what I'm saying? Get you 2 people and invite them to come and watch the channel with you. But go ahead, Hebrew. I digress.
No, that was a great thing right there, Brother Cortez. That's actually a beautiful idea. Um, I think that's a great idea. I praise for that, for you doing that, bro. Trying to make sure I got everything. How it look on the screen, bro? Does it still look presentable on the screen?
Yeah. Everything look good.
Okay. All righty
Like I
then.
say, I was trying to I don't know what's going on with my stuff tonight, but I was trying to blow you up, but it's not allowing me to. Probably because I'm on my phone, probably. But go ahead and do your thing.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to get it to where give me a second, brothers and sisters. I'm trying to get it to where I can see both of my screens, but it still looks big enough for y'all. Let's see, every time I do that.
You're not gonna be able to put both of them on there at the same time.
Okay. All right. Well, y'all might have to watch the comments for me for a second. I think this is about the best I'm gonna get it right here. So we're just gonna Mike can do it this way. All right. Yep. It's about the best I'm gonna get it right there. Okay. Now that we done got that out the way. I'm gonna start out, brothers and sisters, with this video. Uncle Eliyahu had sent me this video throughout the week. Just something that we like to stay on top of our information as best as we can. So
You're gonna have to stop sharing. You're gonna have to stop sharing. Stop sharing what you got on the screen now to put your video up there.
okay, y'all can't see it up there. Oh, okay. I see what you're
We
saying.
can
I
see.
see. I got you. I got you. I'm working on it right now.
Okay. But yeah, we can still see. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
All right. Let me start this from the beginning here. Oh, there we go.
Eat pork.
Fair
Go
use,
ahead.
fair use, fair use. We are using this video for educational and recreational purposes only. Go ahead, bro.
All right, yeah, let me put that up for us. Fair use, brothers and sisters. Fair use. This our praise to Unc for sending me this. This has something to do with the lesson tonight. It'll kind of be going into what we are dealing with tonight. So let's dive into this thing, because this is what we're fighting against, brothers.
That's what the Bible says. A lot of times people take what is from the Old Testament. He was talking to the Jewish people, the Jewish nation. And under the Jewish covenant, they could not eat certain things. But Paul says in 1 Timothy, he says to all things are permissible. All things are good. And so therefore, don't let anyone regard to you that you must worship on this day. Some people say you only can worship on Saturday. Some people say you only can worship God on Monday. Some people say, Paul says, don't allow people to tell you what day to worship on. Don't allow people to tell you what you can put in your body. Because truth will be told, some of us may need to stay away from pork, but some people's body may allow them to eat pork. Want to eat pork? Go ahead and eat pork.
I'm gonna let it play one more time.
The Bible says a lot of times people take what is
You
from the
wanna
Old
eat
Testament. He was
You wanna
talking to the
eat pork?
Jewish people, the Jewish nation. And under the Jewish covenant, they could not eat certain things. But Paul says in 1 Timothy, he says to all things are permissible. All things are good. And so therefore, don't let anyone regard to you that you must worship on this day. Some people say you only can worship on Saturday. Some people say you only can worship God on Monday. Some people say, Paul says, don't allow people to tell you what day to worship on. Don't allow people to tell you what you can put in your body. Because the truth would be told, some of us may need to stay away from pork, but some people's body may allow them to eat pork. Want to eat pork?
All right, brothers and sisters. Do I need to play
eat pork? Let him finish saying it, KG. You want to eat pork?
Hold on, let me go back. I gotta go back.
Pork.
Hey,
Go
I
ahead
don't
and eat
think
pork.
I don't think the Bible say what he's saying. But go ahead.
That's what the Bible
tried
says. A
to
lot of
pull it
times
in
people
1
take what is
Timothy.
from the Old Testament. He was talking to the Jewish people,
We'll get into it.
the
I'm
Jewish
gonna let it play one more
nation.
time.
And under the Jewish covenant, they could not eat certain things. But Paul says in 1 Timothy, he says to all things are permissible. All things are good. And so therefore, don't let anyone regard to you that you must worship on this day. Some people say you only can worship on Saturday. Some people say you only can worship God on Monday. Some people say, Paul says, don't allow people to tell you what day to worship on. Don't allow people to tell you what you can put in your body. Because truth would be told, some of us may need to stay away from pork, but some people's body may allow them to eat pork. You want to eat?
You stopped it again.
I thought you ain't hear it the last time.
No, you stopped
Oh,
it
man.
right at the part. Wait, you
yeah,
want
you
to
said-
eat pork?
Hold on. Let me see if I can start him over, man.
Eat pork?
No, don't worry about it. There you
Go
go.
ahead and eat pork.
You want to eat pork?
Okay, there you go. I just
Want to eat pork? Go ahead and eat pork.
We need a
eat
sound
pork?
like that.
Go ahead and eat pork.
Well, y'all need to sample
Want to
that.
eat pork? Go ahead and eat pork. Want to eat pork? Go ahead and eat pork.
He must be talking about that. Don't let no man judge you and me to a drink and all that.
That's what he's talking
scripture.
about.
Yeah, that's what he's
Okay.
talking about.
Okay.
And he also talking about when Peter that vision that Peter had.
That dream about the four corners.
That's what he's talking about.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. That's what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You want to eat pork?
But brothers and sisters, this is well, brothers, y'all tell me what y'all think about this video first. Brothers and sisters, what y'all think about this video? Drop your opinion in the chat. What y'all think about this so far? Let's discuss this for a brief second. What y'all got, brothers?
Here we go with this remixing again. They want to remix the scriptures to say what they wanted to say, to satisfy their love or their lust for that do without will. So whatever it is that they heart desire, they'll bend these scriptures to fit it or to justify it. Remixing. But yeah.
Totally agree with that. Brother Steph, what you think? Let me get mine. You still there, Brother Steph? Uh-oh. He might have fell off. Oh. Well, now that we done got that out the way. Can you see them comments, Cortez? Because I'm still on the... Oh, okay. Here we go.
It's still showing the screen. I can't see the comments though. Yeah, I can at the bottom right here. You want me to call them out for you?
I can see him now.
Oh, okay.
Sister Arlene says, I have relatives that say the exact same thing. I've heard people say the exact same thing too as well, Sister Arlene. Sister Shadara Yah says he didn't give not one scripture. He tried to give something out of 1 Timothy. He gave a book. He didn't give chapter verse.
I've heard of a pastor try to make that same claim and statement that he's about to go into. So it must be a common thing that the pastors use to justify. That must be in their playbook, because I've heard several pastors run to that and say, "Don't let nobody judge you," and meat or drink or Sabbath day and all that, so on and so forth.
Right.
Yeah.
Mother Mary says he used bits and pieces from 1 Timothy, but not in proper context. That's right.
Exactly, Mama. Yep.
That's right. What you was gonna say, Cortez?
No, I was just agreeing with Mama.
Brother.
Go ahead, Steph.
If you look at Second Maccabees, right? Do y'all remember the story of the mother and the 7 sons?
Yep. One of my favorite stories. But yep.
Okay. Why were they martyred? How did their name get written into martyrdom?
Because they was killed because they refused to eat the defiled meat, and they killed them one by one.
Pork?
Right.
You want to eat pork?
They killed them one by one.
But the
Yep.
mother and her 7 sons, they all were put to death because they refused to eat what God called unclean.
Mm-hmm.
But in today's time, people will tell you, you want to eat pork?
Yeah, we gonna have to sound like that.
But they knew that eating pork was an abomination before the Most High God.
Mm-hmm.
They knew not to eat pork. I got you another instance. Um, in in um in Acts chapter 10, whenever it was after Christ's resurrection when Peter testified, and he said, I've never eaten any unclean foods.
Mm-hmm.
But then you can compare that to that Acts 10 and 8. That's Acts 10 and 14. You can compare that to the Acts 10 and 8, where Peter explains the vision that he's butchering.
Right.
He butchering that. But yeah, brother, man, nah, man, you can't do that. You can't. I tell you what, let's go there. Can I read that?
Yeah, bring it out. Bring it out.
Okay,
After
let's go there.
that, I go into my questions and introduction. Go ahead, bring it
Hey,
out.
I got something after still, if you don't mind, KG.
Fine with me, brothers. Come on with
All
it.
right.
Go to Acts 10 and 14.
Acts 10 and 14. All
Yeah.
right. Acts 10 and 14, and it reads, but Peter said, not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean.
Okay, he said, I've never eaten anything common or unclean. We know that Peter misunderstood what Christ was saying, but Peter was saying, referring to actual food. All right, Cortez, now go to Acts 10 and 28.
Acts 10 and 28, and it reads,
Uh-huh.
and he said unto them, ye know how that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company, or come unto one of another nation. But God has showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean.
So Paul is explaining and breaking down that vision. Paul knew that that vision was talking about men. It wasn't talking about animals, and it wasn't talking about food. So Peter was explaining the vision that it was about people, not food, and that's what that guy was twisting. But I yield right there.
Praise. Okay, hold on, let me get back. Stop sharing that for a second. And that is basically what this lesson is about tonight, in a sense. But we're gonna show. I feel like in today's time, there's a lot of problems with people understanding what really got fulfilled with Christ through Christ's birth all the way to his ascension. And tonight, that will be some of the things in which we go over. That will be some of the things that we address because, you know, because of people's lack of study, because of people's lack of precept upon precept, this is one of those things that really gets, how can I say it? It gets lost in translation far as what actually is going on what happened in the text, what did the actual cause of Christ's crucifixion, what actually came behind that. And it's not really talked about enough. It's not really studied hard enough as it should, in maybe so in our community, because we've been studying it for quite some time now. But for people outside of the community, when you try to explain these things to them, it becomes a problem because they can't see it because they weren't taught to see it. Everybody automatically thinks that, oh well, he died on the cross for our sins, so we don't have to follow the law no more. And even though that statement has some truth to it, it's not it's taken out of context within itself, because it doesn't mean everything was done away with. And today we will find out exactly what was done away with, what was fulfilled, what did Christ live out through the Old Testament in the New Testament. And we're going to figure out how many laws got fulfilled, meaning that these are some things that you probably don't have to do anymore because Christ fulfilled them. But we're going to get into it.
Hey, Salaki, KG.
Come on with it.
I got a quick question. I mean, it's on topic to what Stephen just said a few minutes ago about clean and unclean. But I just want to ask you a question. Like, have you ever wondered why in Mark 5, when that man, when that spirit had got into that man that had been around the tombs and stuff, it was an unclean spirit, and they had put chains and feathers around him. They couldn't hold him down. And that man seen Jesus, he ran to him because he was tired. Remember, Steph, me and you talked about this a couple of weeks ago. He was tired of being tormented, and he was ready to get that up off of him. And when Jesus told that unclean spirit, he said, come up out of him, right? But this is the point I want to make. Now, if want to eat pork was such a good thing, he could have chose anything to cast that unclean spirit. He could have chose any animal, but he chose an unclean animal to put an unclean spirit into.
That's a good point.
So what animal did he use to put them spirits in?
The swine.
Want to eat pork? So why would we want to eat this mess that is unclean, and he cast the unclean spirit into that? I mean, just food for thought. I mean, just, you know.
No, but that's actually a good point, because, and that's, once again, that's one of those examples in the scriptures that people overlook, because a lot of people are just going to say, well, that was just what was there at the time. No, it had significance to it. Because he could have easily sent them back to the depths of hell.
Right.
He had that authority. He had that authority to do that. So, you know, that's one of those things. That was a good point, Brother Cortez, because that's one of those things that just go over people's head.
Right.
It's symbolic within itself.
And family, y'all can read their stories in Matthew 5, 1 through 13.
All right, let me get this introduction out the way.
I mean, Salaki, Mark 5. My bad. I said Matthew 5. Mark 5.
All right, no, you good. You good. Jesus Christ or Yahweh Shai fulfilled numerous. Can everybody see this? Is it big enough for everybody? Do I need to blow it up a little bit more, or we're good? Can y'all see that on y'all end?
Before they probably can see it good, but just on our end, I can't see it that good.
I'll blow it up a little bit.
You know, I'm by blind. You know.
Yeah, blow it up a little bit. All right. Jesus Christ or Yahweh Shai fulfilled numerous laws through his perfect life, death on the cross, resurrection, and ongoing intercession as the eternal high priest. His fulfillment of the Torah or Old Testament was not the abolishment of God's laws, but the completion of their spiritual purpose, pointing all things to him as the ultimate source of salvation. Brother Cortez, let's get Matthew chapter 5, 17 and 18. Matthew chapter 5, verse 17 and 18. To understand how many laws Yahweh shall fulfill, we must analyze key areas within the Torah or Old Testament. Some people like to hear Torah, some people like to hear Old Testament. I'm putting them both in there to accommodate everybody so we can just get this learning. All praises, all praises. Read that Matthew 5 when you get it, brother.
Can you hear me, KG?
Yep, I can hear you. Uh-oh. Can you hear me, Brother Cortez? Signal might be going out. In the meantime, I'll grab that Matthew Yep, he had to go back out. Let me grab this real quick, brothers and sisters. Oh, there you go.
All right, can you hear me? I got a call that knocked me off. My bad.
Yeah. I can hear you.
Okay, Matthew 5 and verse 17, one of my favorites. Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you,
Mm-hmm.
till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. And it's in
Till
red.
all be fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
Has heaven passed?
No, sir.
Are we standing on ground? What is your house on, brothers and
On the
sisters?
earth. The ground.
What is your cars? What are the wheels of your car rolling on, brothers and
The earth.
sisters? So that
The ground.
means that this law is still in effect. Now, is there certain things, certain aspects of the law that got fulfilled that we don't have to do anymore? Absolutely. But it's important that we understand that and know exactly what got fulfilled. So, first question of the night, brothers and sisters. I let us take a break with the questions for a while, but now I gotta get us back into it. Because this, if you was to, if what I'm Salaki, the reason why I'm doing this, got a little tongue tied. The reason why I'm doing this is because if you wanted to introduce somebody to this channel and they watch this lesson, I want them to be able to see what we see and understand why we're saying what we're understand. Understand why we're saying what we're saying. And the first question of the night is, what made Christ perfect? What made Christ perfect? Drop y'all comments in the chat, brothers and sisters. Brothers, y'all give me y'all input on this. What made Christ perfect? And if you already got your answer for this, you can see the second question as well. We're going to get into that second question right after this. But in your own thought process, opinion, what made Christ perfect?
I'll go first. I'm gonna say his obedience, man. Because you have to be really obedient, bro, to lay your life down for some people that don't even care nothing about you or what you got to say. That takes some obedience, bro. That takes some true willpower. Because me personally, bro, I don't think I could have done it. But you know, I know my thoughts are not his thoughts, as the scripture tells us. And you know, so I understand that it was a part of a divine will that had to been done, but I think it was his his obedience, bro, and willing to what I'm trying to say. To allow himself to to he sacrificed his body for the ultimate being of us. Like he took on all of our sins and all the wickedness that we may have had in us. He took on all that and he suffered for it. And bro, that's a lot. And you got to be perfect in order to do that. And then what made him perfect, bro, was the keeping of the law.
Okay. Brother Steph, what you got?
I'm gonna
Because
let
he
the chat. I'm gonna let the chat answer.
because he was the law.
Okay. Praise.
um,
All things truth and holiness said the law. Let me see what else we got. Mother Mary said he
see
was
what.
sinless.
um, Jedediah said adherence to the law and reverence and fear of the Most High.
Sister Arlene.
Arlene Foster said Yeshua was born of the Spirit. Shadariyah said he is the unblemished lamb. Jedediah said, absolute adherence and understanding of the law.
Mm-hmm.
Winston French said he was prophesied to be by Father Yah, the fact that he was literally the living word of Yah. All right, that's it.
Okay. So usually in the chat answer for you, brother. I think
Pretty
that's
much, pretty
okay.
much,
And brothers and sisters, that's absolutely correct. But
because
come on with it.
he perfect.
I think you're going out, brother. Still, can you hear him? Can you hear him, Cortez? Might be going in and out.
Nah, he went out.
Okay. Yeah, I can't hear you, brother. Still. Um. But brothers and sisters, wow, I'm pretty sure Brother Steph gonna have to come in and come out and come back in. All of y'all answers were absolutely correct because what we have to understand about this question is that in order for you to be perfect, there has to be a standard in which you are set by to exemplify your perfection. What was that standard? What was that system that allowed everyone in his time to call him perfect? According to the statutes, laws, and commandments, is in which he was deemed perfect. That's why when let me go back up. When Mother Mary says he was sinless, what is sin? Sin is the transgression of the law. So by that we understand that there was a system in place for him to be for this perfection to be viewed from this perfection to be understood from. And we know that this system was used because every time that he got into it with a Pharisee, a Sadducee, or somebody that felt like they could use the law against him, they tried to use it to set him up. They tried to use it to catch him in a lie or find a reason to kill him based off the law. So that proves that the law was very important in the New Testament, just as well as it was important in the Old Testament. And what makes this even better is the fact that the Old Testament is the only thing that they had to go by, which is something that we have always discussed when we have these types of conversations. But like I said, we're going to break it down a little bit more tonight. My next question: name one or three things that we would still have to do if Christ did not fulfill that which he did. It's not really a question, I guess. But if you can think of one or three things that we would still have to do if Christ did not fulfill that which he did, name them, drop your answers in the chat. And I'm okay with one. If you want to give three, that's perfectly fine. And after we get into this after we get through this question, we're definitely going to go into the scripture. But name one or three things that we would still have to do if Christ did not fulfill that which he did. And I'm all right. Give y'all a little time to think about that. Because it's plenty answers to this question. There's plenty answers to this question. Brother Steph, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. All right. Just making sure. All right. That's right. Shalom, Sister Cahelia. Sacrifice. Sister Arlene said sacrifice. Mother Mary said have to sacrifice animals for sinful acts. Yes, ma'am. That is correct. Animal sacrifice. Yes. Brother Yeti said sacrifice and get your bags ready to sit in Sheol. Hey, you know you can be a comedian when you want to be. Yeah, I know you ain't playing though, with all praises. I can just hear you saying that. Sister Brenda Hill, shalom. Obey the laws. I might be wrong. No, sis, you're not wrong, because there were certain aspects of the law that he fulfilled. If he had not fulfilled them, we would still have to do them today. And it would be a whole lot worse. For example, if you got caught being a homosexual, you would get put to death. If you got caught in adultery, the man and the woman that committed adultery would be put to death. What Christ did, let me finish these other ones out. Shalom, brother Winston French. Judged by father, condemned, eternal death. Great one. Those are great ones right there, brother French. Shalom, sister Psalms. She says, animal sacrifice, leaving food behind for the less fortunate to glean, Levitical temple duties. That is right. And we know this because we went over this in the other parts of this series recently that we've been going over on Tuesday. Sister Cahalia said the laws. Yes, because to a certain extent there would be certain things that we would still have to do. What Christ actually did, brothers and sisters, was he brought the spiritual aspect of the laws into play through his fulfillment. He brought these things into play for us. So now instead of ceremonial laws. That's also right, Sister Cahalia. So now instead of being in a position where you have to give a turtle dove, which they were still doing in his time, but by the time that he had got crucified and ascended into heaven, this thing started to become obsolete, because the disciples would go out and teach that this is the part that gets misconstrued a lot too. That, this is the part where a lot of people say, well, the law was done away with. No, it wasn't. The law was done away with because he was perfect. Going back to the beginning of our first question, because he was perfect, because he lived a perfected life by the standards in which the system provided. He followed every rule and guideline within that system. He was deemed perfect, making him the perfect sacrifice. And so when it came time for him to be crucified, he was the perfect, unblemished sacrifice. So there would be no need in the future for animal sacrifices or anything that would pertain to animal sacrifices. And we'll get into that as we get into the scriptures. But great answers, brothers and sisters. Now let's get into these scripts. And we're going to get into the categories of laws fulfilled by Christ. Christ's mission primarily addressed the laws related to priesthood, sacrificial offerings, atonement for sins, and prophecies concerning the Messiah. Let's break this down. First one, we're going to get into the sacrificial laws fulfilled. Christ fulfilled all the sacrificial laws as he became the ultimate, perfect, and eternal sacrifice for sin. These sacrifices were temporary foreshadowing of the true and final offering. Examples of fulfilling sacrificial laws: all burnt offerings, which is something that we discussed in the earlier episodes of this series. Brother Cortez, now if you want to look into all the burnt offerings, if you see right here by number 1, you can go into Leviticus 1, and 1 through 17 will give you those burnt offerings, the different aspects that you had to do with the burnt offerings. Christ's sacrifice on the cross provided complete atonement for sin. Cortez, let's get Romans 3 and 25. Romans chapter 3 and verse 25.
All right, Romans 3 and 25. Romans 3 and 25, and it reads, whom God has set forth to be a propitiation through faith in his blood, to declare his righteousness for the remission of sins that are past through the forbearance of God. Keep going.
No, go to Hebrews, and that's propitiation. Yeah, propitiation, I think.
Okay. All right.
Let's go to Hebrews 10. What you got, Steph?
I'm a little behind you, because I was trying to let you get your point out before I said anything.
Okay, come on with it.
but I just wanted to show that Christ Christ, he's the lamb, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he was chosen to be that lamb from the foundations of the earth.
That's right.
Um, it was in the plan of the Most High for Christ to be that sacrifice. In Revelation chapter 13, in verse 8, it says, the lamb slain from the foundation of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Christ was chosen for that purpose by the Most High God because he knew we wasn't gonna do right.
Right.
And without Christ, we were all damned to hell because we couldn't keep the law. Um, Also, Peter talked about it in chapter 1, in verse 19 and 20. It says, but with the precious blood of Christ, as of a lamb without blemish and without spot, who verily was foreordained before the foundation of the world, showing again that Christ was chosen as the sacrificial lamb before the world began. He was already picked for that. And that was just to bag up the point that you made right before you went into your segment. Like I said, I was just a little bit behind. Not that I'm off topic. I just wanted to let you finish your point, and I didn't want to cut you off, Hebrew.
No, you good, bro. You man, hey man, you know how we do. You know how
And
we
then,
do.
and then one more thing in John,
Mm-hmm.
1:29,
Mm-hmm.
where it talks about, behold the Lamb of God, which taketh away the sins of the world. John the Baptist publicly identified Yahushua
Mm-hmm.
as the Lamb promised by God. He was promised by God that he was coming, that he was the Lamb that was coming. And I just wanted to show, yeah, he was perfect. Yeah, he kept the law perfectly because it was ordained. He was chosen for that. He was
Mm-hmm.
handpicked. He was molded in the belly of Mary to be just that through the Spirit of the Most High God. But I yield. Go ahead, Hebrew.
Praises, appreciate that, bro. Let's go, Cortez. Let's go back to that Hebrews chapter 10, and I just need we're gonna read 1 through 10. Hebrews chapter 10, verses 1 through 10. And
All right.
brothers and
Let me
sisters,
know when you're
I
ready.
got this I got this PowerPoint up, because I know some of us are faster than others. So, if there's anything that you miss, hey, feel free to pause it and take these notes down. I did this to help somebody that needs to see something, see anything that they need to write down. Sometimes it helps other people. But this is for us. Feel free to look at this, pause it if you need to, and write down the scriptures as you need to. And also, like always, we will be keeping the scriptures in the chat. So, just trying my best to feed the people in the best way and make it more convenient for you. Go ahead, Brother Cortez, when you get there.
All right. Hebrews 10, verse 1. For the law having a shadow of good things to come,
Mm-hmm.
not the very image of the things, can never, with those sacrifices which they offer year by year continually, to make the comers thereunto perfect. For then would they not have ceased to be offered? Question mark. Because that the worshippers, once purged, should have had no more conscience of sins. But in those sacrifices there is a remembrance again, made of sins every year. For it is not possible that the blood of bulls and of goats should take away sins. Wherefore, when he cometh into the world, he said, sacrifice and offerings thou would not, but a body hast thou prepared me. And burnt offerings and sacrifices for sin thou hast had no pleasure. Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me to do thy will, O God. Above when he said, sacrifice and offering and burnt offerings an offering for sin that will not, neither has pleasure therein, which are offered by the law. Then said he, Lo, I come to do thy will, O God. He taketh away the first,
Mm-hmm.
that he may establish the second, by the which will we are sanctified through the offering of the body of Jesus Christ once for all. He said 1 through 10.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now, with this being said, it's scriptures like this. It's chapters like this that makes it hard for me to understand when people, well, I ain't gonna say it makes it hard for me to understand, but what it really shows me is that people don't read like they think they do. Um, Now I will say this: there's nothing wrong with having these different translations because they can become useful. But I do recommend that you have a translation that actually sticks as close to the original text as possible so you can understand what was really being said. Because in chapter 10, 1 through 10, it's basically telling you he came to fulfill the law. How did he come to fulfill the law? By doing away. One of the things that he came to do was do away with the sacrifice of animals for sin. It tells you that in the first 10 verses of chapter 10. Not only that, this is one of those books that Paul wrote, or he's credited to being the writer, I should say. So, that within itself, when you are talking to certain people, well, Paul said this and Paul said that, you're making a contradiction of yourself because Paul also said this. He also wrote this. He also told people this. Let me see, because it was one script. I was trying to get something else in order.
Hey, I got something too, bro. On that Hebrews 10 and 1,
Yeah, come on with it.
where it says he was a shadow of the good things to come. I mean, said the Old Testament was the Old Testament law was a shadow of a good things to come. That
Mm-hmm.
good thing to come was Christ. It was
Mm-hmm.
showing that, okay, we was doing it this way by Moshe, what Moses had put down. Okay. But Christ was the shadow of the not so much of the physical aspect of it, but now we're doing it spiritual. That's why when he said he magnified the law. So now you still doing the 10 commandments, but let's say I'm gonna give you an example where it
Mm-hmm.
say thou shalt not kill. Okay, that's physical. But
Mm-hmm.
when Christ got on the scene, the still thou shalt not kill, but see now you can't spiritually kill your brother. See now you can be still judged by spiritually killing your brother in your mind or
Mm-hmm.
talking down on your brother. So it's not so much of a physical. Now you are being judged on a physical and the spiritual aspect. So Christ was the shadow of that good thing was to come. That's what they was talking about in that 10 and 1. He was the shadow of it. Wasn't to do away with it, but it was to amplify it, if I must say. Because he
Yeah.
didn't do away with the laws, he just amplified the laws.
Right. Like I said, he
Yeah.
took him. He took him to a new level.
Right. Yes,
And
sir.
in verse 2 and 3, it basically tells you, for then would they not have ceased to be offered, because that the worshippers once purged should have had no more conscience of sins. But in those sacrifices, there is a remembrance again made of sins every year. So the sacrifices wasn't fulfilling the purpose that it first intended to be. Because what 2 and 3 is saying is basically that we would sin, the sin to come back to you. You would sin, you would do this to cover yourself, and then go right back to doing what you were doing to cause the sin. And that's like I said earlier in verses 1 through 10, it tells you one of the things. This is him. Let's go back to my PowerPoint. This is one of the examples of fulfilled sacrificial laws. He fulfilled this. Now, trick question: Has anybody sacrificed a turtle dove today? Did you sacrifice a goat, a bullock, a lamb for the sake of you getting rid of sins? Now, I've been told that there are certain groups that do these types of things, but they're not needed because Christ is the ultimate sacrifice. Somebody come in? Somebody jump in? Okay.
Yeah, brother Mikael came in. Hebrew, if you don't mind, um, like when most people hear the phrase that you using, Christ fulfilled the law, right?
Mm-hmm.
When most people hear that, only a few people understand what that really truly means.
That's right.
Because some people say that he fulfilled everything, so therefore don't nobody gotta keep no laws no more.
Mm-hmm.
But other people look at it like he fulfilled nothing, so everything gotta remain exactly the same. Like they
Mm-hmm.
gotta do sacrifices, everything. But neither one of those positions are correct.
That's right.
What the Bible reveals about Yahweh Shai's life is that he was on a mission that was ordained by the Most High God.
Mm-hmm.
Every sacrifice, every feast, every priestly duty, every lamb, every bullock, like you said, every turtle dove, every offering, every drop of blood that was shed in the Old Testament under that covenant pointed toward one destination.
Yes, sir.
And it pointed toward the tree. It pointed toward the tree, KG.
Yes, sir.
The tree that was in the midst of the garden when Adam and Eve introduced death into the world.
Mm-hmm.
The tree at Calvary, the one that Eve and them introduced in the garden, that one right there brought death. The one that Christ, the tree of Calvary, it brought life.
Mm-hmm.
The first tree in the garden, it brought a curse on us. The Adam first, when he first stretched out his hand, and he brought condemnation into the earth when he ate off of that tree. That was the first Adam. But the second, the last Adam, he brought us redemption.
That's right, bro.
When you look at the scriptures from Genesis all the way to Revelation, the Bible is moving toward a finish line. We're trying to get to that tree. See, it's not like the law was just wandering around in the world aimlessly throughout the annals of time.
Mm-hmm.
The priesthood was not just standing in the temple for no reason. The sacrifices were not being offered because God enjoyed the blood. The Most High didn't need the blood. Every one of them was like a post, pointing like a sign with an arrow on it,
Mm-hmm.
pointing toward the tree, pointing toward Yahweh Shai. And what we got to understand, if I could just grab a couple of scriptures, Hebrew.
Nah, you good. Come on with it.
Let me get Genesis chapter 2 and read verse 16 and 17. I'm going somewhere.
All right, all right.
He said Genesis 2, 16
and 17.
All right. Hold on, let me get there.
If you don't mind, KG, I ain't trying to cut you off, Hebrew.
Man, nah, man. Come on with it, man.
All right.
Genesis 2, verse 16, and it reads, and the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat.
Of every tree of the garden, you may freely eat what the Most High told man. Go ahead.
But of the tree of the knowledge, but of the tree of knowledge, of the knowledge of good and evil, thou shalt not eat of it.
But the tree that's in the midst of the garden, of that tree of good and evil, don't eat off of that tree.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Cortez.
For in the day that thou eatest thereof, thou shalt surely die.
Because the day that you do it, you're going to die. Now, when Adam ate off the tree, did he fall dead?
No, sir.
He didn't. That's not what it was talking about. It wasn't literal. It was talking about you bring a sin into the world. And what the scripture tell us about sin? Sin brings about death.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So sin entered the world through a tree, through that tree. Death came into the world because Adam was disobedient. And the race toward that tree in this lesson that you're talking about, which is redemption, it began that day. When Adam did that, it began that day. Okay. Now, Cortez, go to Romans 5 and read verse 12. I'm going somewhere.
All right. Romans 5. Where you at, Romans?
And where are we going?
Romans 5 and 12.
Romans 5 and 12, and it reads, wherefore, as by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin, and so death passed upon all men, for that all have sinned.
So by one man, death entered the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
1 Corinthians 15 and 22.
1 Corinthians 15 and 22, and it reads, for as in Adam all die, even so in Christ shall all be made alive.
So in Adam, all die. But through Christ, we're made alive. Last one. 2nd Ezra chapter 3 and read verse 21.
2nd Ezra 3 and 21. And it reads, for the first Adam bearing a wicked heart transgressed, and was overcome, and so be all they that are born of him.
So what we see right here, Brother Cortez, KG, Brother Mikael, when Adam committed that sin, it was like a virus. It was like an AIDS virus, like the COVID vaccine virus.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can transmit it.
Mm-hmm.
And it brought death into the world. But see, when Christ came, he paid that debt, because that first tree created a debt that mankind couldn't pay. That's the reason why the scriptures I brought out earlier that showed the foreshadowing of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
He had to come because the Most High already knew that we was going to create a debt that no man could pay. And that's why we still on that race to redemption, trying to get to that tree. But I yield right there, Hebrew. Go ahead.
Nah, all praise. I'm glad you brought that up, brother Steph. Brother, shalom, brother Mikael. Shalom, brother.
Shalom, brother KG. How y'all doing? Shalom, in the chat. Sorry I'm late. I got still dealing with the breakdown.
Shalom, Israelites.
So, hey, you was going over Hebrews 10 just a minute ago, right?
Yeah.
And I just want to say that. Yeah. So, Hebrews 10, brothers and sisters, is a cut to the Christian doctrine on so many levels. And the first one is when you hear them say, we are New Testament church only, we only all you can do is take a Hebrews 10 right there.
You kind of going in and out, brother Mikael.
They got you chopping like a robot, Hebrew.
Oh, okay. I'll finish later, Hebrew. Go ahead.
No, you clear. You clear now.
You clear now.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying that the Hebrews chapter 10 that you was going over, that brothers and sisters, that chapter right there is a death blow to the Christianity doctrine. That's what I was saying on so many levels, dealing with the law of sacrifice. Even Christ coming in the volume of the book is a death blow to their doctrine. Even when they say we only deal with the New Testament only, all you have to do is take them to Hebrews 10 where he say he come in the volume of the book and so many other places in the New Testament.
You know, we killed them out
But
every time, Mike, with that Hebrew 10.
Right. All we had to do is just use Hebrews 10. But now, brothers and sisters, the platform of the Christianity or their doctrine has changed. Now they're saying we keep the law. Y'all hear what I said now? Now they're saying we keep the law.
That's what they trying to say. They trying to correct the error.
Yeah, because ain't no way around it. Now they're saying, oh, we keep the law, statutes, commandments. Oh, okay. Well, we gonna see. And
Hey,
you got to know how to broke that book. Go ahead, Cortez. I'm done.
no. I was just gonna say, Mike, to back you what you saying. Instead of moving the goalpost, in a sense, in this lesson, they moving the tree.
Mm-hmm.
They trying to move the tree now.
That's
and
exactly
you
what they're doing.
Yeah.
and you can't move no tree, bro. It's planted. It's rooted in.
There you
All
go.
right.
I'm done, KG.
All right. Number 2 under examples of fulfilled sacrificial laws, brothers and sisters. Number 2, all sin offerings. Reference to this. If you want to go check on all the sin offerings, go to Leviticus chapter 4, and it's 1 through 35. Christ's blood removes sin permanently, fulfilling what animal offerings could not. Get that Hebrews 9, 12 through 14. Hebrews chapter 9, verses 12 through 14. Which is basically we're just adding emphasis onto our first point.
I got you.
Okay.
All right, Hebrews chapter 9 and verse 12. Neither by the blood of goats and calves, but by his blood he entered in once into the holy place, having
Mm-hmm.
obtained eternal redemption for us.
Mm-hmm.
For if the blood of bulls and goats and the ashes of an heifer sprinkling the unclean sanctified to the purifying of the flesh, how much more shall the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without spot to God, purge your conscience from dead works to serve the living God.
Hence is why we put even more emphasis on my question that I asked earlier. Have you sacrificed a goat today? Did you sacrifice a lamb? If you did, it's still not equivalent to that which Christ did on the cross and the crucifixion. His blood was the ultimate sacrifice. His blood is what got us to where we can repent today, come back from a sin, and be able to still make the kingdom. Because if it wasn't for that pertaining to certain sins, some of us would be put to death, some of us would be stoned. It gets worse and worse as we go. But because of what he did on the cross, because of the prophecies he fulfilled and everything the truth that he walked in while he was on this earth, getting us to that point to where when he got crucified, that these things would no longer hold the weight that they did in the Old Testament. Now we're going to go to point number 3, which is the Passover lamb. For reference, if you want to get this down or if you want to look at this in your own time, Exodus chapter 12, verses 1 through 28. But Yahushua or Christ is the true Passover lamb whose blood protects us from eternal death. This is what Brother Stephen was basically talking about from, because when we start in Genesis, we're introduced to death, we're introduced to sin, we're introduced to the knowledge of good and bad. But by the time that Christ comes and he is crucified and resurrected and then ascends into the heavens, we then see that the hold that death had on us is taken away through his sacrifice. Let's get that 1 Corinthians 5 and 7.
Hey, when you finish your part, Hebrew, show me an alley-oop.
Okay, I got you.
All right. 1 Corinthians 5 and 7. Let me know when you're ready.
Let me get there with you.
Hey, Step and Mike, if y'all want to share these scripts with me, man, y'all can. So we can take turns. So y'all jump in. Feel free to jump in whenever y'all want to, bro.
All right, let's get it. Let's get it.
1 Corinthians 5 and 7. Purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened. For even Christ our Passover is sacrificed for us.
Read 8 with it if you don't mind.
Therefore let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth.
Now, when it says old leaven, it was basically putting emphasis on the things in which we did back in the day. We have to grow from that. And we have to become the new leaven. We have to be the ones that make the change. We have to be the ones that stand on this change and exemplify it to everybody else, because we are honoring his sacrifice and what he did for us. Because if it was not for Christ, we would not we would not have the access to the kingdom that we will have by following the statutes, laws, and commandments if it was not for him. Brother Miguel, bring out what you wanted to bring out.
Now, you read Hebrews 9, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I breaking up Hebrew?
No, you clear. You clear. You clear.
All right. So, brothers and sisters, here's the thing. What KG's bringing out, if you go back and do your studies and just read that slow, you're going to find out that Christ only died for the house of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
What did you pull those powerful scripts from, Hebrew? You pulled them from what? Hebrews.
Mm-hmm.
In the book of Hebrews, talking
Mm-hmm.
to the Hebrews, telling them, then when Steph brought out those scripts, he was slain before the foundation of the world. What world? Whose world? The world of Israel. Because we can back that up with 2nd Esdras chapter 6, right?
Yes, sir.
Because he said he made the world for who? Our sakes.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, brothers and sisters, this is a powerful lesson KG is giving y'all when you just go back and read it slow. Because Cortez was reading something. He said, for us. It didn't say for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
If Cortez just pick it back up and read it one more time and read it slow, it said for us.
Read that 7 again, Cortez. And I'm glad you actually did that too, Brother Miguel, because that's a punchline later on in the lesson.
All
Oh,
right.
all
It
praise.
says, purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened. For even Christ our Passover is sacrificed for us.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore let us keep the feast, not with old leaven,
Not with the
neither
old ways.
neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth.
Mm-hmm.
So he's our Passover. He died for the house. He died for us for remittance of sin. So when he say in Hebrews 10 and 1, for the law is a shadow of good things to come, it's because when the kingdom comes, when he starts it, brothers and sisters, we won't have to do sacrifices anymore. The sacrifices is going to be for the nations,
Mm-hmm.
not for us, because who's our sacrifice? It's Christ. Even right now as we speak, before the kingdom even gets started, we already have our perfect sacrifice. But the nations, when they got to come up every year, they got to bring what? Sacrifices and offerings. So that's why the law is a shadow of good things to come. Go ahead, bro. Just had to bring that out.
All praises. Let's get into this number 4. Day of Atonement sacrifices. To read up on this, you will go to Leviticus 16. I believe it's the whole chapter of Leviticus 16, Day of Atonement sacrifices. And these are just we go to our point. I give you a reference of where we are coming from, where you can find this at in the scriptures, and then I show you where Christ came in and he acknowledges the fact thereof that these things have been fulfilled. Uh Yahushua performed eternal atonement through his once for all sacrifice. Let's go back to Hebrews 10 and get verse 12. Brother Cortez or whoever want to grab it.
I'll grab it. Hebrews 10 verse 12.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and it reads. But this man after he had offered one sacrifice for sins forever, sat down on the right hand of God.
Go back, restart at 11. Start at 11 and read 11 and 12 because this gonna transition me to my next point.
All right. And every priest standeth daily, ministering offering, oftentimes the same sacrifices, which can never take away sins. But this man, after he had offered one sacrifice for sins forever, sat down on the right hand of God.
So the Day of Atonement is one day, which we still celebrate. We celebrate it differently, but now we do different things to celebrate the Day of Atonement. But it says in 12, but the man after he had offered one sacrifice for sins forever. What did we have to do to atone for our sins? Whether it was atonement sins, all sin offerings or burnt offerings, we had to offer up some type of offering. So that right there shows that, hence today, why we no longer sacrifice animals. And to my point, it's amazing that it's moments like this that makes me kind of laugh, because when you tell this to somebody that's outside of the truth and they say they don't have to keep the law, well, the law that we're under now today says that we don't have to sacrifice animals. So technically you're still keeping the law. It be moments like that you can really just hit people in the mouth with them, but it's just it tickles me. That's why I'm saying it. But that's the end of that segment right there. And through this segment, what you got?
Hey, on that 12, Hebrews 10 and 12, it says, but this man, after he had offered one sacrifice for sins forever, sat down on the right hand of God. Who is that man they talking about? Give me Genesis 49 and 10.
All right. Let me get that for you.
Because in Genesis 49 and 10, it says, until Shiloh come. Who is Shiloh? The same man that sit right beside God.
Yes, sir. In 49 and 10?
Yes, sir.
Genesis chapter 49 and verse 10. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until
the what shouldn't depart from who?
Nor a lawgiver from between his feet.
And the scepter shall not depart from everybody.
Judah.
Okay, go ahead.
Nor a lawgiver from between his feet until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be.
So, what is the shadow of good things to come? Shiloh,
which is Christ. You
see how it's like a puzzle, bro. You see, I didn't know that in the beginning, but all this makes sense to me now, because when we do lessons like what you're doing, and like when you read and you study, and you can start putting the pieces to the puzzle together. But if you just open the Bible and read it as a novel from Genesis all the way to Revelation, you're gonna be lost in the sauce.
Yes,
you got to be line up on line, precept on precept, and it's gonna hear a little and go a little. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. And I'm glad you actually said that. But see, that's why I set the notes up the way that I have set the notes up. For the sake of you, like, okay, when you need to reference this, excuse my background noise, family. I apologize for that. But when you need to go back and reference these things, you know that you're gonna like Sister Arlene got right here. We go to Leviticus 4, 1 through 35. If you was to read through that, then you precept that with Hebrews 9, 12, and 14, you see that, okay, this is what was fulfilled. This part was fulfilled. Okay. Then when you go to Exodus 12, 1 through 28, you read through that. Then you jump to 1 Corinthians 5 and 7 and 8. Chapter 5, verses 7 through 8. You see that, okay, what was done in Exodus was fulfilled this way. This is what was fulfilled in Exodus. Then when you read Leviticus chapter 16, then you jump to that Hebrews. You understand this is what was fulfilled. And like I set it up this way because, you know, for future reference, if anybody has to use this, it makes it easier for you to show whoever it is that you need to show. Let me see. All things truth and holy said, can you please read verses 11 and 12 with it? I found verse 12 to be a precept to Revelation 1 and 14. All things in truth and holiness, you talking about in Genesis? She gotta be talking about in Genesis.
Yeah, I think she is, because I wanted to start at 9 and go down to 12, but I just went straight to the point. But bring that out, KG.
All right.
I think that's what she's talking about, 11 and 12 with it also.
Yes, that's what she's talking about.
Yeah. Hey, start at 8, Hebrew.
All right. We're going to Genesis chapter 49 and verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be, binding his foal unto the vine, and his ass's coat unto the choice vine. He washed his garments in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes. His eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk. All praises for that. All things in truth.
And she wanted the Revelations 1 and 14 as a precept. I got it.
All right.
Revelations 1 and 14, and it reads.
And that is a good precept, sis. All praises for that. Bring it up.
His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Mm-hmm.
Characteristics of who that is.
Right. That brings back, because that's still talking about Shiloh.
Yes, sir.
It all, like I said, I set this lesson up to bring stuff like this in full circle, because you see how all things in truth was able to now she's probably had this in her bag for a minute, but she's sharing it with the class to give a deeper example of what I was talking about, of how I set this lesson up on this PowerPoint for us, because that is a perfect example. You could throw the Alpha and Omega with that and go to Genesis and then go to Revelations, and it still correlates. You know, that's yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That was beautiful, sis. That was beautiful. Now let's get back to our point. Now, on number 4, we was what was that, Day of Atonement? Okay, we got through that. So to total out, approximately 50 laws related to sacrifices. So Christ fulfilled approximately 50 laws related to sacrifice. Y'all keep tally of that. We're gonna see how much how much actually got fulfilled by the end of the lesson. Let me see. Let's go into point 2. Ceremonial and temple laws fulfilled. Christ fulfilled all laws tied. Christ fulfilled all laws tied to the earthly tabernacle and priestly duties by becoming the eternal high priest and the true sanctuary. Examples of fulfilled laws. Laws concerning the Levitical priesthood. I might have a typo here. That's what it looks like. But Exodus 28:1 and the whole chapter of Leviticus 8 for reference. That Exodus might be a typo. I might have been typing too fast. I apologize for that, brothers and sisters. But Leviticus 8, the whole chapter of Leviticus 8 will still be laws concerning the Levitical priesthood. Christ is now the eternal high priest after the order of Melchizedek. I just had to put some emphasis on that. I'm sorry, brothers and sisters. Brother Cortez, give me Hebrews chapter 7, verses 11 and 12. And while you get that, I'll get the Hebrews 8.
Hebrews 7 and 11 and 12.
Yes, sir.
And it reads, if therefore perfection were by the Levitical priesthood, for under it the people received the law, what further need was there that another priest should rise after the order of Melchizedek, and not be called after the order of Aaron? Question mark. For the priesthood being changed, there is made of necessity a change also of the law.
For the priesthood being changed, there is made of necessity a change also of the law. This goes back from the written, physical, to the spiritual. But also, what does this also tell us, brothers and sisters? The laws was not done away with.
And also, KG, if you read in 14 and 15, it pretty much tell what you was trying to convey, if I'm not mistaken.
Bring it out.
It says, for it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah, for which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood, as it is yet for more evident, for that after the similitude of Melchizedek there ariseth another priest. So who was that? Who was the other priest that arose? Shiloh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now let's get that Hebrews 8 in chapter 1. I mean, chapter 8, verse 1. I got this one, Brother Cortez. Hebrews chapter 8 and verse 1. Now of the things which we have spoken, this is the sum. we have such an high priest who is set on the right hand of the throne of the majesty in the heavens. There go that Shiloh again. Verse 2, a minister of the sanctuary and of the true tabernacle which the Lord pitched, and not man. So this is showing that this is right here is showing that Christ became not only the ultimate sacrifice, he became head of the priesthood. He became the ultimate sanctuary. This also correlates with which I said earlier, with the physical leading into the spiritual, because we also know that keeping our bodies in line with the statutes, laws, and commandments keeps our spiritual temple in this where it needs to be as well. And that's just throwing it out there, because before this, even back then, our temple was a physical temple. And well, I'm saying that to say this: we would have to go in the temple and we would have to do certain rituals, which you see in number 2. Now, transitioning to the spiritual aspect of it. Yeah, our spirit is in this vessel, in this body, but it's still up to us to keep it clean and follow the statutes, laws, and commandments. But this is also what I'm saying is this is just another example of the law transitioning from a physical standpoint, a written standpoint, into a spiritual standpoint. Let's get that number 2, temple rituals. And the reference for this would be Exodus 25 through 30, and these are chapters. Exodus 25 through 30, and you could also go to Leviticus chapters 1 through 10. Christ replaced temple rituals with direct access to God through him. Let's get John 4. Let's get John chapter 4 and verse 23 through 24, Cortez. And I'll grab that Hebrews 9 and 24. And brothers and sisters, I apologize if I'm moving a little fast. I'm just trying to make sure that we get to the end. I don't want to be before you all night. So once again, if you get to a point where you need to pause and look at the notes as need be, feel free to do so.
All right. You said John 4:23 and 24.
Yes, sir.
All right, and it's in red letter. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. God is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
Read 25 with it.
The woman said unto him, I know that Messiah cometh, which is called Christ. When he is come, he will tell us all things.
All praise. Now let me just precepts to bag up the Exodus 25 through 30, like I've been saying, the
Let me
Leviticus
do
1.
20. Let me do 26. So
Come on with it.
Jesus said unto her, I that speak unto thee am he. He's letting it be known. I am Shiloh.
Yes,
I
sir.
am him who they
Yes.
say I am. Go ahead.
All right. Hebrews chapter 9 and verse 24. For Christ is not entered into the holy places made with hands, which are the figures of the true, but into heaven itself, now to appear in the presence of God for us. Let me read 25 with it. Nor yet that he should offer himself often, as the high priest entereth into the holy place every year with blood of others. So this puts emphasis on him being the high priest, him being the ultimate sacrifice. Because before this, we had rituals. Far as the priest, you would have to give the priest your sacrifice. He would have to go in front of the Most High God and offer up your sacrifice. It was certain levels to certain things, and everything had to be done a certain way, or the sacrifice would be void. It would be null. With Christ fulfilling what he did on the cross, this is another one of those things that got done away with, or better yet, the better term would be to say fulfilled. Which leads me into point number 3, and this is altar and incense laws, which you can read about this in Exodus chapter 30 verses 1 through 10. Exodus chapter 30 verses 1 through 10. Christ intercedes for us eternally, fulfilling the need for incense offerings. And let's just grab this real quick, Brother Cortez. Let's get Romans 8 chapter 34. Romans 8 chapter 34.
Romans 8 and 34. And it reads, Who is he that condemneth? Question mark.
Mm-hmm.
It is Christ that died. Ye rather, that is risen again, who is even at the right hand of God, who also made intercession for us. Who shall separate us from the love of Christ? Question mark. Shall tribulation, or distress, or persecution, or famine, or nakedness, or peril, or sword? Question mark. 36. As it is written, for their sake we are killed all the day long. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter.
Praise. Which that will that's going to conclude that segment far as the examples of ceremonial temple laws fulfilled. And the total on this would be approximately 150 ceremonial and temple laws fulfilled. Approximately 150 ceremonial and temple laws fulfilled. So we got 50. Let's go back. We had 50 laws related to sacrifice. Now we have 150 ceremonial and temple laws fulfilled through what Christ did from the time of his birth to his ascension. So that what they put us at, of course, at 200.
Yeah, 150 and 50 is 200 all day.
That puts us as 200. So remember, yep,
200.
that's right, Sister Kalia, 200 so far. That's 200 laws that was fulfilled so far. Now let's get into category 3. Purity laws fulfilled. While purity laws symbolize separating from sin and uncleanness, Yahushua or Christ fulfilled them spiritually by cleansing us permanently through his blood. Examples of fulfilled laws: ritual purity laws for touching dead bodies. Numbers 19, chapter 19, verses 11 through 32. This is a reference, of course. Like I said earlier, these will be the first script will be where you can go and find and learn about this law, which we covered this in the previous series of this lesson. And then the second one right here, Yahushua's or Christ's death conquered death eternally. We show the precept to it, bagging up what was having to be done in the Old Testament and how it got fulfilled in the New Testament through the work of Christ. Let's get 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 54 through 57. Before we go any further, grab that script for me though, Cortez. Steph, you got anything?
No, go ahead. I can grab a script for you though.
1 Corinthians 15, 54 and 55.
Let me check. Yes, sir. 1 Corinthians 15, 54 through 57.
Oh, 57. Okay. All right. And it reads, for when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? Question mark. O grave, where is thy victory? Keep going.
Nah, read it one more time, bro. I'm trying to get
Okay.
that with you.
You want me to start at 54 again?
Yes, sir, please.
All right. Let me start at 53.
Go ahead.
For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? Question mark. O grave, where is thy victory? Question mark. The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law.
Read 57 with it.
Okay, but thanks be to God, which giveth us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ.
So, like Brother Stephen had brought out earlier, in the Garden of Eden, we were introduced to death. We were introduced to the knowledge of good and evil. We were introduced to sin, throwing the world into a slow darkness that would end up polluting everyone. And then we have the references that we gave earlier. Shalom, Brother Dark. We have the references that we gave earlier about the in Numbers 19, 1 through 32. Well, not Numbers 19, 1 through 32. That's on this specific topic that we're talking about now. But death was introduced to us because of what happened in the Garden of Eden. And here we have in 1 Corinthians 15, 54, 57, showing the fulfillment, once again, of what Christ did that conquered death. See, now we have an escape route from sin, and all we have to do is choose to follow that route. If you follow this route, you then become untouchable by death spiritually. Your physical will die, but your spiritual will go to a place of the living, for the book of life, I guess you could say, and just using that as an example. Let me see where I'm at. Okay, that's one. Now let's go to point 2 in this segment. Clean and unclean laws. Leviticus 11, the whole chapter of Leviticus 11. Brother Steph, will you grab that Matthew 15 and 11 for me, please? Yahushua or Christ taught spiritual cleanliness, focusing on the heart rather than external rituals. And this feeds into what I was saying throughout the lesson. Christ took us to another level. Before Christ did what he did, all we had was the written. We had the laws, the physical laws, and what we were supposed to do according to those laws. But when Christ came and fulfilled the things that he did, he turned that physical aspect into a spiritual aspect. Because even in his time, we could see that you had people like the Pharisees who looked the part, who did certain things, but they added their twist into it, making it unclean because of the traditions that they added to it. Physically, they looked as if though they were doing what they needed to do, but spiritually they were wicked. And this shows the importance of that transition, because your heart, your spirit, your mind has to be in the right place while doing these things. And if you're doing them for the show, if you're doing them to gain some type of advantage negatively, then that automatically taints the spirit, because we're supposed to be doing this with the hopes of getting closer to the Most High God, not for any physical gain, far as getting over or having advantages over our brothers and our sisters. You got that? Do you have it, Matthew 15:11?
Yeah, I got it.
All right, bring it out.
I'm gonna read 10 with it to put it in context.
Come on with it.
And he called the multitude and said unto them, hear and understand. Not that which goeth into the mouth defileth the man,
Mm-hmm.
but that which cometh out of the mouth, this defileth the man.
Mm-hmm. See, that part of it, that's the part also where a lot of people get, oh, he's talking about food here. And you could argue that he is talking about food here, but the more important part of this scripture is the fact that he was talking about is how you conduct yourself spiritually that matters the most. It's what's most important, because we've all been in situations where we may have eaten something unclean unintentionally or accidentally. So if you're eating something and you do it by accident, that is different versus eating something and it making you doing it purposely. That's willful sinning at that point. But to do it, and I'm just using this as an example, brothers and sisters, but eating something accidentally is different compared to eating it purposely. One still has a spiritual positive to it. The other one has a spiritual negative to it. Because for one, you're defiling your temple intentionally. Now, can you come back from both of them? Absolutely. But one shows the sincerity of your spirit. Because if you eat something unclean and it's accidentally, and then you say, "Oh man, I didn't know that was in the food," or "Oh man, I had no intentions on doing that." That shows that shows your spirit. That shows that you care about the things that Christ has done and is doing for us and has laid before us to do in hopes of getting the kingdom. And once again, brothers and sisters, that's just an example though. Brothers, y'all got anything before we move to this next one? All right, we're gonna keep on trucking then. Let me see. We're on point 3. Laws concerning leprosy purification. You can read Leviticus 13, chapters 13 and 14 for this. Laws concerning leprosy purification. Spiritual healing and cleansing occur through Christ. Let's get Matthew chapter 8, and we're just going to read verses 1 through 4. Matthew chapter 8, verses 1 through 4. And we're finishing up.
All right. Matthew 8, 1 through 4. And it reads, When he was come down from the mountain, great multitudes followed him. And
Mm-hmm.
behold, there came a leper and worshipped him, saying, Lord, if thou wilt, thou can make me clean. And Jesus put forth his hand and touched him, saying, I will, be thou clean. And immediately his leprosy was cleansed. And Jesus said unto him, See thou tell no man, but go thy way, show thyself to the priest, and offer the gift that Moses commanded, for a testimony unto them. And when Jesus was entered into Capernaum, there came unto him a centurion, beseeching him, and saying, Lord, my servant lie at home sick of the palsy, grievously tormented. And Jesus said unto him, I will come and heal him. And the centurion answered and said, Lord, I am not worthy that thou shouldest come under my roof, but speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. You said 1
Read,
through 8, right?
no, yeah, no, read. No, I said 1 through 4, but you gotta read. You gotta
Oh,
read.
shoot, my bad, my bad.
Go ahead and read 9 and 10.
All right, good
Read 9
looking
and
out.
10, because you just you putting emphasis on the point. Come on with it. Read 9 and 10.
For I am a man under authority, having soldiers under me. And I say to this man, Go, and he goeth. To another, Come, and he cometh. And to my servant, Do this, and he doeth it. And when Jesus heard it, he marveled and said to them that followed, Verily I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Israel. And if I say, I gotta get that one.
Come on with
My
it.
bad.
Come on with it.
I
Nah,
know
come
Stephen said, boy, Cortez gets to read, he don't want to stop.
on.
Verse 11. And I say unto you, that many shall come from the east and west, and shall sit down with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. All praises, man.
All praises. With that faith, with our faith got to be strong. If our faith is strong like this centurion's was, brothers and sisters, we can be healed.
Unwavered.
Unwavered. It is
Yes,
possible.
sir.
But see, here's the contrast. Before then, going back to Leviticus chapters 13 and 14, there was a process. If you had leprosy back in the Old Testament, back in the time of our forefathers, you had to exit the camp. You had to be away from the people. You had to shave off your eyebrows and your hair and do away with your clothes. And the priest would have to come check and make sure, double check to make sure that the leprosy was gone. There was a process. Now the process has turned spiritual. It's different now. Now, as long as we have faith and we're following these statutes, laws, and commandments, the scriptures tell us, you have not because you ask not. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and everything else will be given unto you. If you are following these statutes, laws, and commandments, you are exemplifying your faith, and your Father will hear you, especially if your heart is in the right place when you're asking these things. But this is just, once again, another example of the physical being upgraded to the spiritual, because we still have the physical, we still have the written, we still have the scriptures, but it gave us the understanding in the New Testament, which I feel like people outside of the truth, they don't really fully understand the contrast. And what I mean by that is that they don't understand the importance of the physical. The physical was the foundation. The spiritual is the next level in which you understand the foundation. Because once the foundation is in your spiritual, in your spirit, it becomes easier to obtain. It becomes easier to observe. It becomes easier to repetitively do it without sitting here being grieved by doing it. The spiritual took aspects of it away that made it difficult to stay spiritually clean. And as you see, approximately 100 purity laws were fulfilled. 100 purity laws were fulfilled. So we had making sure everybody's keeping score. We had 50 sacrificial. We had 150 temple and ritual sacrifice. Now we have another 100 purity. And these are all laws that were fulfilled. So we had, thank you, Sister Cahelia.
That's a solid 300.
Yes, sir. We was at 50 plus 150 plus 100. Now we at 300, brothers and sisters. That is 300 laws that Christ fulfilled from the time of his birth to the time of his ascension.
Man.
Brother Steph, I see you you back. Did you have anything that you wanted to add to this? I didn't know if you wanted to add something to it.
Nah, you good. You know, I'm on the highway. I'm just going in and out of some bad areas, but I got you.
Okay, got you.
Okay.
All right, brothers and sisters, we got 2 more categories and then we'll be done. We're gonna finish them out. Number 4, the prophetic messianic laws fulfilled. Yahushua, better known as Christ, fulfilled all prophecies related to his first coming as the Messiah. Examples of fulfilled prophecies: the seed of the woman. Let's get Genesis 3 and 15. Oh, no, we don't have to get that Genesis 3 and 15. We don't have to get Genesis 3 and 15. This is just reference. Christ bruised the serpent's head through his victory over sin. So for reference, Genesis, if you want to look into that, Genesis 3 and 15. Number 2, birth in Bethlehem. Now let's get Micah. Now we're going to read into this one a little bit. Let's get Micah chapter 5 and verse 2, Brother Cortez. And this was fulfilled in Matthew 2, 1 through 6. So, Brother Cortez, you get Micah 5 and go ahead.
These are prophecies being fulfilled, right? Not
Yes,
laws,
sir.
right?
Yes, these are prophecies. These are prophecies.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Micah 5 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
But thou Bethlehem, but thou Bethlehem, how you say that? Ephrata. Though thou be little among the thousands of Judah, yet out of thee shall he come forth unto me that is to be ruler in Israel.
Israel. Go ahead.
Whose goings forth have been from old, from everlasting. Declare the end from the beginning.
Yes, sir. It was spoken of in the Old Testament. Micah's in the Old Testament. Now jump to Matthew chapter 2, and I need 1 through 6.
Matthew 2, 1 through 6. And it reads, now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, Bethlehem.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Of Judea in the days of Herod the king. Behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, where is he that is born king of the Jews? ? For we have seen his star in the east, and are come to worship him. When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him.
Mm-hmm.
And when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where Christ should be born. And they said unto him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet.
Mm-hmm.
And thou Bethlehem in the land of Judea art not the least among the princes of Judah, for out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel.
My people Israel. And we're just giving, like I said, these are prophecies being fulfilled, brothers and sisters. The suffering servant, Isaiah 53. This is just for reference. A chapter of Isaiah 53. This is fulfilled in Christ's crucifixion in Matthew 27 chapter and John 19. that chapter as well. So put that down in your notes. Just so you'll have it when you need it. Because basically you know, those chapters precept each other and go explain the crucifixion. Number 4, the coming king, Zechariah 9:9. Grab Zechariah 9:9, Cortez, and I'll get that Matthew 21.
Zechariah 9:9.
Matthew 21 and what?
Matthew 21, verse 1 through 11.
Say that again.
Matthew 21, chapter 21, verses 1 through 11.
All right, let me know when you're ready.
All right, read that Zechariah first, Cortez.
All right.
Because we want to pull from the old to show that this was still being used in the new.
All right, Zechariah 9:9 reads, Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, thy king cometh unto thee. He is just and having salvation, lowly and riding upon an ass, and upon a colt, the foal of an ass.
We all know that the ass is the donkey. That's just another word for donkey. Now, Brother Steph, bring out Matthew 21, read 1 through 11, please.
The triumphal entry is the title to it.
Yes, sir.
Matthew 21, verse 1. And when they drew nigh to Jerusalem, and were come to Bethlehem, unto the Mount of Olives, then sent Jesus 2 disciples, saying unto them, Go into the village over against you, and straightway ye shall find an ass tied, and a colt with her. Loose them and bring them unto me. And if any man say aught unto you, ye shall say, The Lord had need of them, and straightway he will send them. And this was done, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet, saying, Tell ye the daughter of Sion, Behold, thy king cometh unto thee, meek and sitting upon an ass, and a colt, the foal of an ass. And the disciples went and did as Jesus commanded them, and brought the ass and the colt, and put on them their clothes, and they set him thereon. And a very great multitude spread their garments in the way. Others cut down branches from the trees and strawed them in the way.
Mm-hmm.
And the multitude that went before and that followed cried, saying, Hosanna, the Son of David. Blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. Hosanna in the highest.
Yes, sir.
And when he was coming to Jerusalem, all the city was moved, saying, Who is this? And the multitude said, This is Jesus, the prophet of Nazareth of Galilee.
Now, brothers and sisters, I want you to write these down, because if you ever get into a conversation with somebody and they sit here and fix their mouth to say, "Oh, the Old Testament, we don't go by the Old Testament. We don't do this. We just New Testament." This is the purpose of me setting these scripts up like that. I want you to take them to the Old Testament and then prove it in the New Testament. So it ain't nothing else left to go back and forth about nothing. Because what we read in Zechariah 9:9 was blatantly just explained in Matthew 21, 1 through 11. But how would you know that this was something that was supposed to happen if you never read the Old Testament, or you don't reference the Old Testament, or you don't use the Old Testament? You know, that's like using half a car. Imagine using half a car. Let's just cut your car in half. You want to cut it down the middle, or you want to cut it down the middle from front to back, or you want to cut it down the middle from side to side. Meaning you get your front part. You can either have your front 2 tires and not your back, or you can have your left side of the car and not your right side of the car.
And the motor and transmission in the middle of the car.
My point exactly.
So you'll come out better cutting it in half from front to back. But the gas tank in the back.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Hey, cut your cell phone in half. Tell me how that worked for you. Throw the other half away. That's all I'm saying, brothers and sisters. So next, and feel free to use these analogies if you need to. Feel free to use them too. So, but that is the point that we're trying to make. And not only are we making a point and showing what the scriptures really say, we're also showing what was really fulfilled. Number 5. Okay, I had one more. Number 5. Righteousness for many. All right, y'all. Cortez, get Jeremiah 23, verses 5 and 6. And Brother Stephen, get Romans chapter 5, verse 19. And what we're finna go through, Christ fulfilled his role as salvation for sinners.
You said Jeremiah 23, 5 and 6, Hebrew?
Yes, sir.
All right. Jeremiah 23, verse 5, and it reads, Behold, the days come, said the Lord, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. In his days, Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely. And this is his name, whereby he should be called the Lord our righteousness.
Who did he say? Did he say
Lord our righteousness? Judah shall be saved.
And who else?
And Israel shall dwell safely.
Oh, okay.
Psalms 91.
Bring out my Romans 5 and 19, Brother Steph. And you absolutely right about that, Sister Veronica. I'm gonna touch on that in just a second. Go ahead, Brother Steph.
Romans chapter 5 and verse 19. For as by one man's disobedience, many were made sinners. So by the obedience of one shall many be made righteous.
So, because Adam disobeyed, this goes back to what Brother Stephen brought out in the first point of the lesson. Because the first Adam disobeyed and ate the fruit, sin, death, the knowledge of good and evil was brought into the world. But because of what the second Adam did, he nullified it. He gave us a way out. Because without that way out, some of y'all would be getting hit across the head with a stone. I'd probably be dead already myself. We're just going to go ahead and say it, Some of us would probably be put to death. Some of us would still have to sacrifice turtle doves and all that good stuff that they was having to do in the Old Testament. And this is a very good point Sister Veronica brought out. She said the Old Testament to me is equivalent to sitting at your great-great-grandparents' house, feet listening to history. At their feet listening to history. So with that being said, yes, that is important. Imagine one of the sayings that I live by to this day. Now, I never got to meet my great grandparents, but a lot of people tell me that I act just like my great grandfather. A lot of people tell me I do a lot of the things that he used to do. A lot of people tell me that I look like my grandfather. And one of the things that my grandfather told me that stuck with me till this day is and it's just something he used to say, something that was it's a family saying, I guess, but it was always funny when he said it. He said two things. I don't pay no new bills. He said, I don't pay no old bills, and I don't pay no new bills until they get old. That was one of his sayings. And then another saying that he had, and the first one is funny, but this one I truthfully live by. Good service ain't cheap, and cheap service ain't good. I live by that. You get what you pay for. But I just said that because it's important. A lot of us don't have those talks. And that's what this Old Testament is for. It's to fill that gap so you can understand the transitions of life, understand what was really going on in the New Testament. But perfect analogy there, sis. Where we was at. All righty. So with that being said, the dozens of prophecies fulfilled were approximately 50. There was approximately 50 prophecies fulfilled. So now these were not technically laws, but they were still prophecies of what would be fulfilled. So you can choose to add them to what we already have, which we're sitting at 300, or you can choose not to add them. That's squarely on you. But this just shows for research purposes, we are showing that throughout the scriptures, the Old Testament, 50 prophecies was fulfilled about what Christ would do by the time the New Testament came. They were spoken, puts another emphasis on the importance of the Old Testament and fulfilled in the New Testament. And let me see where I'm at as far as time. Okay. All right, we're finishing up, brothers and sisters. Because this is the last, let me make sure. Yep, this is the last one. The rest of them are just notes for your purposes. Last category, moral laws not abolished, but perfectly fulfilled. Yahushua fulfilled the spiritual purpose of moral laws, but these remain in effect as guiding principles for righteous living. Let me say that one more time. Christ fulfilled the spiritual purpose of moral laws, but these remain in effect as guiding principles for righteous living. And here are some of these examples. So you could use, and you just write these down for your own purposes. Exodus 21 through 17. That is basically the 10 Commandments. And that's where just you write that down for references. And then what we have in parentheses, they are precepts to precepts. You have Matthew 22, 37 through 39. You can use Deuteronomy 6 and 5 to back this up. Leviticus 19 and 18. Let me make sure I am putting those together correctly. Cortez, if you don't mind, get Matthew 22, 37 through 39. Matthew chapter 22, verses 37 through 39. Let me look at this real quick and make sure I do it right on the front.
All right. Matthew 22. You said 37 through 39?
Yes, sir. 37 through 39.
All right, and it's in red letter. Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Verse 40. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
Okay, so yeah, I did do that correctly, brothers and sisters. You would take Exodus 21 through 17. These are the foundational 10. These are the 10 commandments. And then these up underneath it would be basically scriptures bagging up things within the 10 commandments. So
I
you
got
have
Deuteronomy 6 and 5 loaded up.
All right, bring it out.
Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 5. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thine heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might.
Yes, sir. All praises. All praises. For the sake of time, brothers and sisters, I'm gonna let y'all write these down. We already went through Matthew chapter 22, and we're getting ready to close, but we already went through Matthew chapter 22, verse 37 through 39. Brother Stephen just read Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 5. Here, and you see, you still have Leviticus 19 and 18. Underneath that, you have Leviticus chapter 11, verses 44 through 45. Precepts to that, Leviticus 19 and 2. and Leviticus 19:35 through 36. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of time to write those down. But this also covers, going back to up top, the moral law is not abolished but perfectly fulfilled through Christ. Christ fulfilled the spiritual purpose of moral laws, but these remain in effect as guiding principles for righteous living, for instance. And we're going back to here, but this also covers observance of dietary and cleanliness laws, which help maintain moral and physical holiness. Which leads me to my point. Throughout this entire lesson, and this is a simple yes or no, brothers and sisters, through this entire lesson, have you heard anything that got taken away from the dietary law? Or the dietary law, for just using that as an example, because there were certain things that got taken away from the cleanliness, but it did not take away everything. And of course, the answer to this is going to be no, because it's not in there. Even after Christ had ascended, they still followed the dietary law. And I'm just pointing it out there for the sake of a fellow friend of mine asking these questions. So I'm just showing them that, yes, certain things were done away with. But just because, or Salaki, certain things were fulfilled. But just because those things were fulfilled does not mean the entire law, the law in its whole entirety, were done away with. If the law in its entirety were done away with, how will we exemplify? What would we be judged upon to get into the kingdom? Because you can sit here and say faith. I wish Brother Mikiel was on here to say faith, but you can sit here and say faith, but how is your faith exemplified? How do you know a Muslim is a Muslim? How do you know a Buddhist is a Buddhist? Because according to their faith, they partake in the laws and the rituals of that said religion. You see a Buddhist wear the Hindu beads and dress a certain way. You see the Muslim practice Ramadan. If he did not believe, if he did not have faith in Islam, he would not do those things. And I'm just using these for examples. Sister Paula James, I just seen your scripture. I mean, your question. Some people claim self-defense is against the New Testament. Thoughts? No, actually, in the New Testament, it tells you to, if you have to, trade your purse in for a sword. Can we get that, Brother Steph? Let me see if I can find that real quick for you, Sister Paula. No. Self-defense is righteous. It just can't have no ill will. Like, you can't set it up and make it look like, self-defense. But self-defense is in the scriptures. It's in the New Testament, to be exact. Brother Steph, you know what scripture that is?
I'm pulling it for you now.
It's
I think it's Luke 20. I think it's Luke 22 and 36. Look at
yes,
Luke
sir.
22, 36.
Yes, sir. Hey, Cortez, you'll get Luke 22 and 36.
Start at 25.
All right.
Start at 25 and read down to 38.
Okay.
What chapter was that? Luke what?
Luke 22, start at 25 and read down to 38.
No, 35. 35.
35.
Yeah, 35.
Luke.
Now read 30. Now read down to 36. 25 through 36.
All right, Luke 22, starting at 25. And he said unto them, the kings of the Gentiles exercise lordship over them, and they that exercise authority upon them are called benefactors. But ye shall not be so. But he that is greatest among you, let him be as the younger, and he that is chief, as he that doeth serve. For whether is greater, he that sitteth at meat, or he that serveth? Question mark. Is not he that sitteth at meat? But I am among you as he that serveth. Ye are
Mhm.
they which ye are they which have continued with me in my temptation, and I appoint unto you a kingdom, as my Father has appointed unto me, that ye may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, and sit on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And the Lord said, Simeon, Simeon, behold, Satan had desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But
What you
I have,
reading, Cortez? Wait a minute. What you reading? You in chapter 22?
yes,
Yeah,
sir.
he in 22.
Okay.
All right, verse 31. And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold,
Oh,
my
you
bad.
you went ahead and started at 20. You started at 25. Should have been 35. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's what he told me to read from 25 to
Oh, I thought,
35.
yeah, I thought Steph said 25. My bad. That's my bad.
No, no, it was 35. 35.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'll skip down to 35.
Yeah, skip
All right.
down to 35.
And he said unto them, When I sent you without purse and scrip and shoes, lacked ye anything? Question mark. And they said nothing. Then said he unto them, But now he that hath a purse, let him take it, and likewise his scrip. And he that hath no sword, let him sell his garment and buy one. For
So,
I, my bad.
no, that's good. That's good. Let me break this down for Sister Paula. So, Sister Paula,
Okay.
what he's saying in 35 and 36 is there was a time when I told you to go to each city and preach the gospel without anything. Don't worry about where you get your food. Don't worry about where you're gonna lay your head at. Don't worry about your needs. Your needs will be met as long as you do the work. But in 36, he told him, because, and this is, you got to also keep in mind that this is around the time that he's going to be crucified. But in 36, he said, Then said he unto them, but now, see, now there's a contrast, there's a difference. I said this in 35, but now we're in this time. But now we're in this time. He that have a purse, he that have money, let him take it, and likewise his script. Keep some money with you. Keep your scriptures with you. And he that have no sword, if you don't have a sword, let him sell his garment and buy one. So if
Hey,
you didn't have a
KG.
sword, what'd you say, Brother Steph?
Hey, read that 37 and 38 with it.
All right, verse 37. For I say unto you that this that is written must yet be accomplished in me. And he was reckoned among the transgressors. For the things concerning me have an end. Verse 38. And they said, Lord, behold, here are two swords. And he said unto them, It is enough.
That's right.
And
That's
you know,
enough.
just
That's all we need. We can handle our business with them too.
mm-hmm. And with that said, just giving context, I don't know, Sister Paula, exactly where you are at. But in the state of Mississippi, we have the right to defend ourselves. Um, now, even those defense laws have certain things that you have to pay attention to within them. But the fact of the matter is that you have the right to self-defense. You have the right to, there are random acts of violence that go on throughout the world. We have seen them in recent past times. So, and I'm actually glad that you said something about this, Sister Paula James, because one of my next lessons that I'm working on is about us defending ourselves, us preparing ourselves mentally and physically for the things that we may be aware or not aware of. So, hey, sisters, I know some of y'all may be scared to keep a pistol on you. Hey, if you're scared of a pistol, get you some mace. If you're scared of mace, get you what's that electric thing they be having? Stun gun? No, not a stun gun.
Stun
What?
gun.
That's what it is, a stun gun. Hey, get you something to protect yourself. The scriptures let
Taser.
it. Yeah, taser. Thank you. Thank you. It is you are in your
Hey,
right
and
to
Salakia
defend
too.
yourself. Come on with it.
Salakia. I just wanted to bring out that what Christ was also telling them is, you know, the time that I've been with you, you didn't need it. See,
Mm-hmm.
while Christ was walking with them, they didn't need a sword or a spear or a bow and arrow or a gun, because the divine protection of the Most High was on Christ, and everybody that was with Christ, the protection was on them too.
That's right.
What his disciples were saying is up.
I think, hey,
When
brother
I
Steph,
leave, the divine protection is gonna be gone.
okay, yeah,
Say
that's
what
right,
now?
bro. Nah, you was going in and out. You came back in. Now you good. Now go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, what he was saying was, when my father called me home, when I go sit at the right hand of the Father, that divine protection that y'all had while I was here is gonna be gone. So now you're gonna need to protect yourself. So that go back to prove your point, what you was telling, what you was sharing with the class. Yes, it is a right by the Most High for us to protect ourselves righteously, you know,
Righteously, that's right.
as long as it's righteous. Oh,
You
go
can't,
ahead.
you can't be into it with somebody, start an argument, and then wait for them to do something violent to you, and then you kill them. That's not righteous. But if you walk into Walmart one day and there's a one of those, one of them that want to come in the store and kill everybody, and you got a chance to defend yourself, that's righteous. And I'm just using the contrast of the examples.
Hey, that first one was premeditated, my friend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're going down. They're gonna take you downtown. It's over with. You
Cause
better have a good
they
lawyer.
gonna say you had time to diffuse the situation or to think.
Mm-hmm. But yes, brothers and sisters, matter of fact, I might just go ahead and do that lesson. But I have a lesson, and not to get off topic, but I have a lesson that I've been working on where it kind of involves current events, but it also it shows what our enemies are preparing. See, our enemies know what's going on. They know what's coming. They're training for it. They're working out every day.
And
They're
buying up all the ammo,
buying up
KG.
all the ammo. They learning actual I would say UFC, but actual like karate, taekwondo. They are learning these types of
Jiu-jitsu.
things. Yeah, jujitsu and all these different types of martial arts. They are learning these things for when the time comes. And I hate to say it, but our people, we think just because of who we are that we, hey, it's better to be
Hey,
prepared than to not be prepared.
all I got to say, they better be like Bruce Leroy. They better be able to catch bullets with their teeth. With
And
all that new jitsu and karate and all that
hey,
good stuff.
brothers and sisters, I don't mean this how it sound, but they better know who to play with. That's all I'm gonna say. Because with that
Yeah,
being said,
we gonna have the we gonna have the protection of the Most High upon us anyway. But it's gonna be a time where we gonna have to defend ourselves. And
mhm,
like the brothers are saying, you know, there's gonna be a period where, we're gonna be in the wilderness. We're gonna have to fend for ourselves. We're gonna have to know how to survive, and we're gonna have to defend ourselves in certain situations. But as long as we keeping God's law, statutes, and commandments, we're gonna have His protection, His
mhm.
provision, and He gonna look out for us. But proper preparation prevent poor performance.
Yes, sir.
So
Absolutely.
we just got to make sure, that we putting food back, putting water back, putting medical supplies back,
Yeah.
antibiotics,
Know how
and
to
those type of things that'll be scarce. We got to make sure that we putting those things back and be getting prepared for what's to come.
man, know how to set a fire. Um, you know, learn these things. Like learn how to survive. They got books on survival. There's nothing wrong with reading these books because there may come a time where you need to know this type of information. Uh Brother Cortez, will you get second Ezra 16 and 40 for Brother Mikael? And we
We
finna
at
get
two
back.
hours and 30 minutes, y'all.
Yeah,
Hey, step, grab that for me. Cause
we finna
I'm in a different part of the room. I'm in the house. Grab it for me, Step.
Second
yep.
Ezra 16 and 40. Hold on, I
Mhm.
got you.
And for the sake of time, I'm gonna just use the slides to show y'all the rest of the scriptures and stuff like that. We'll see the tally of everything, and we're gonna go ahead and close because we have went over the 2 hour mark. But I'm glad Sister Paula asked that because I just for you, Sister Paula, I'm gonna do a lesson to show you how important it is. We need to be having that self-defense mindset. Not looking for trouble, but prepared if it comes. Go ahead, brother Steph.
All right, Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 40. O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even, as pilgrims upon the earth.
Praise. Praise. I see Sister K said Warrior, I did a couple lessons on this. Yes, and it need to be more lessons done, Sister K. Like it's a deep importance to that. And I plan on I'll put that in my lesson for next week or whenever I teach again. And that's right, Brother Yeti, but we still gotta get to that point. We gotta get to that point. But that is true. So let's finish out, brothers and sisters. I hope this lesson was edifying. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I put a lot of time and effort into it. And I also want to say thank you to Sister Cindy for requesting the PowerPoint you made me. I haven't had a laptop in a long time, but I'm glad I went and got it because it has made doing these lessons a little bit easier for me. I forgot how much I like typing versus writing stuff. So all praises for that, Sister Cindy. I appreciate you for pushing me to do this. But let's get the I know this part has been on here for a while, so I hope that y'all got that. If not, rewind it in your own time and get what you missed. Moral laws are eternal, reflective God's character, guiding believers towards holiness. That's Matthew 5 and 19. We don't have to get that, brothers. I'm just showing the last slides for the sake of the people getting the notes that they need. But we do have the final tally, and I took the liberty of adding it up for y'all. If you didn't add them up, I know some of y'all were adding them up as we went, and all praises for that. Sacrificial laws fulfilled was 50. Ceremonial and temple laws fulfilled 150. Purity laws fulfilled was 100. Messianic laws fulfilled were 50. Moral laws upheld as eternal. These are not abolished, but they are fulfilled in Christ's teaching and life. There go 2 scripts to bag up that segment right there. Psalms 119, verse 142, Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. And you can finish that. And when you get to that Ecclesiastes 12, you can always finish that out. The grand total fulfilled. So we would take the 613 laws that we have learned about in this series. You subtract the 350 that we went over tonight that were fulfilled, and it would leave you with 263. And let me be sure when I say that, because this is a give or take. Okay, so the Messianic aspect of it, that has to deal with prophecies that was fulfilled. So you could use this 50 if you chose to, or you cannot use this 50. If you don't use that 50, then that puts the total at 300. Let me see. Minus that 50, 300. It'll put the total at 313 laws that are still in effect and eternal. Because the Messianic aspect of it, those are prophecies that are 50 prophecies that got fulfilled. So you could give or take that 50 from the 350. You would either have 300 or 350, and it would give you the number that's on the screen if you add the 50, or if you subtract the 50 and just use 300, you still end up with 313 that are laws that are still in effect or eternal. So that proves that the law is not done away with. Even if some things may have been fulfilled, there are still other things that we must do in order to show our faith. And with that being said, this is an approximate count of laws Christ completed through his earthly ministry, death, resurrection, and ascension. The remaining laws, including moral laws, Sabbath observance, dietary laws, and national laws, are expected to be upheld by Yasharallah or Israel under the covenant of obedience led by faith in Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shah Hamashiach or Christ. Key scriptures and precepts on fulfillment. And this is just another segment. Precept purposes. Each one, you can use these to go back and show the fulfillment of certain things. And some of these that we went through or we went over and throughout the lesson, like you have the Micah 5 and 2, with the Matthew 2, 1 and 6, the Isaiah 53, 4 through Salaki 53, 4 through 5, Matthew 8 to precept with at Matthew 8, chapter 16 to 17. Then you have the Zechariah 9 and 9 that we went over. I think brother Steph had brought out the John 1 and 29. Hebrew, you can precept that with Hebrews 9 and 12. But for the sake of note purposes, if you want to write this down, it's here for you to write it down. I'll slowly go through them just on the screen so you can see them. And if you need to go back, you can always go back. With that being said, the conclusion summary, Christ fulfilled God's plan by perfectly living under the law, Galatians 4 and 4, fulfilling every messianic prophecy, atoning for sin through his sacrifice at number 3, and instituting the renewed covenant. All of this was for the redemption and restoration of Israel. Romans chapter 11, verse 26 through 27. He exemplified obedience to God, ensuring salvation for Israel and eternal dominion over the nations. And that, brothers and sisters, is the lesson for tonight. I pray that we were all able to get edified. I pray that you was able to use this when needed. And I want to once again thank Sister Cindy for allowing the Spirit to ask the question that she asked for the PowerPoint. I feel like it's helped everybody. Also, once again, I want to thank the brothers, and I want to thank my brothers for being up here with me. I know these lessons have been kind of lengthy, but sometimes you got to do that in order to get the information out that the Most High wants you to get out. But all praises, and this is where I conclude. Brother Steph, you got anything?
Yeah, man, all praise to the Most High, man. Powerful scriptures came out. Another lesson where it was very informative. I'm sure that there was a lot of things that came out that a lot of people probably already knew, just probably, haven't seen it in a while, stuff like that. So, man, all praise to the Most High for putting this lesson together. Hebrew being obedient. The PowerPoints are definitely a great addition to your lessons. I think you should continue to implement that into your lessons. I think you do a great job with that. But with that being said, man, all praise to the Most High, Hebrew. Great job, man.
Praises, I appreciate it, brother. I think Brother Cortez might have had something to come up. He ain't on here with us, but I'm gonna go through the shout outs for tonight, and we're gonna go ahead and get off here.
I'll get the shout out for you, bro.
Okay, go ahead, brother.
Shalom to Arlene, Sister Arlene Foster. Shalom. We appreciate you putting the scriptures in the chat, sis. MC to the X Project says, great lesson today, Brother KG. Much appreciated.
Praises.
All praises. Cahelia Smith. Great lesson, easy to follow along. Hey, that's what the old PowerPoints do for you, man. All praises.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sister Jim was in the building. She said, very edifying. Thank you, brothers. All praises. Appreciate that, sis. Mother
Shalom.
Mary said, excellent lesson, edifying and informative. Thank you.
Praises.
No.
We got Sister Brenda Hill was it right here. Great lessons as always.
Okay,
All praise
this
to the
right,
Most
right.
High. Appreciate you, Sister Brenda Hill. Appreciate that.
Christy Snipes said, great lesson. All praises. Brother Jedediah was in the building. He said, I'm supposed to do some lesson about that as well. I think he was talking about the
Okay. Yeah.
I think he
I
was
know what
talking
you're
about
talking about. The self-defense lesson.
preparation. Yeah, the
Yeah.
self-defense preparation.
Yeah. We can we can actually collab on that if you would like to. We could just do like a part 1, part 2. You know, you lead one, I lead one. But all praises to that. There's information that it definitely needs to be brought out for our people so they can understand what's going on.
Who else? Brother Mikael was in the chat. Shalom Hebrew. Sister Brenda Hill was in the chat.
Shalom.
Brother Dark Black Tea was in the chat. Shalom Hebrew.
I appreciate
Paula
this.
James.
Praise.
What was
Go
you
ahead,
saying, bro?
No, I had seen something that Sister Veronica had said. I was just telling her I appreciate it.
Oh, okay. Paula James, Sister Cindy Carr. I totally agree. You get what you pay for. Oh, that was when you were talking about your granddaddy.
Yes, sir. Good service ain't cheap. Cheap service ain't good.
That's right. That's all I can see on my end, Hebrew. If you can see some more, that's all I can see.
All right, you got Sister Arlene.
Yeah. I got Sister Arlene.
Then you got Brother Dark.
Yeah, I got Brother Dark.
All right. Let me go up. That might be everyone. Brother Winston French.
Okay, yeah. I didn't get Brother Winston. I didn't see him on there.
Okay, shalom to you, brother. All things truth and holiness. Shalom to you.
I also want to say, everybody keep Sister Mary Dukes, Marie Dukes in your prayer.
Yes,
Sis, and if you watching this, I want you to know we love you. We're praying for you. We pray the Most High will put His hand up on you, give you strength. You know, as you deal with your chemo and stuff like that, man. So let's keep that sister in prayer, man. We need our elders, man, to stay around so we can glean from them, bro. And she's a strong part of this ministry. Very
yes, sir.
strong part of this ministry. We just want you to know we love you, sis. We're praying for you.
Yes, sir. All praise. All praises.
So with that being said, that's all we got. Sister Shadara, y'all.
Yep, Sister Shadara, y'all was in the building. I'm still able to
That's right. That's right. I didn't see her. Okay. I
She
just
was
now
more,
saw it.
yeah, she's more so towards the top. But I think that might be everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna get up out of here.
You can eat.
The Most High.
You can eat pork.
If you want to eat pork.
I gotta play that one more time, but I'm gonna go get us out of here.
Play it one more time.
Hold on. Let me go back, y'all. Let us end on something funny. Let me go back to the top.
Want to eat pork? If you want to eat pork.
The Bible says a lot of times people take what is from the Old Testament. He was talking to the Jewish people, the Jewish nation.
Oh, come on. Thank you. There we go.
You want to eat pork?
You want to eat pork? You want to eat pork?
The Bible says a lot of times people take what is from the Old Testament.
Oh, my God.
You want to eat pork? Go ahead and eat pork.
You You
That's what the
want to
Bible
eat
says. A lot of
pork?
times people take what is from the Old Testament. He was talking to the Jewish people, the Jewish nation. And under the Jewish covenant, they could not eat certain things. But Paul says in 1 Timothy, he says,
whatever.
you want to eat pork? Go ahead and eat pork. That's what the Bible says. A lot of times people take what is from the Old Testament.
I'm good,
We
y'all.
out, family. Shalom. You gonna do your thing?
Oh, you know I gotta do it. It ain't a lesson. It ain't a lesson unless we do it. And this has been another exciting episode of Back to the Basics Tuesdays. No, I do not. No. No.
Israel, keep the commandments, lost sheep.
We gotta let this play like
Order of Melchizedek, Tupelo, Mississippi.
I can't hear it.
We love the Most High.
Oh, hey, it's fine because you ain't gonna get to hear us say KG tonight. We can really get
We serve the Most High. Tupelo, Mississippi. Israel, keep the faith. Israel, keep the commandments, lost sheep. Order of Melchizedek, Tupelo, Mississippi. Israel, keep the faith. Israel, keep the commandments, lost sheep. Order of Melchizedek, Michael, keep the faith. Stephen, keep the commandments. Cortez, keep the faith. KG, keep the commandments. Israel, keep the faith. Israel, keep the commandments, lost sheep. Order of Melchizedek, Tupelo, Mississippi. We love the Most High. We serve the Most High. We love the Most High. We serve the Most High. Tupelo, Mississippi. Israel, keep the faith. Israel, keep the commandments, lost sheep. Order of Melchizedek, Tupelo, Mississippi. Israel, keep the faith. Israel, keep the commandments, lost sheep. Order of Melchizedek, Michael, keep the faith. Stephen, keep the commandments. Cortez, keep the faith. KG, keep the commandments. Israel, keep the faith. Israel, keep the commandments, lost sheep. Order of Melchizedek, Tupelo, Mississippi. We love the Most High. We serve the Most High. We love the Most High. We serve the Most High. Tupelo, Mississippi. Israel, keep the faith. Israel, keep the commandments, lost sheep. Order of Melchizedek, Tupelo, Mississippi. Israel, keep the faith. Israel, keep the commandments, lost sheep. Order of Melchizedek, Michael, keep the faith. Stephen, keep the commandments. Cortez, keep the faith. KG, keep the commandments. Israel, keep the faith. Israel, keep the commandments, lost sheep. Order of Melchizedek, Tupelo, Mississippi. We love the Most High. We serve the Most High. We love the Most High. We serve the Most High. Tupelo, Mississippi. Israel, keep the faith. Israel, keep the commandments. Lost sheep. Order of Melchizedek. Tupelo, Mississippi. Israel, keep the faith. Israel, keep the commandments. Lost sheep. Order of Melchizedek. Michael, keep the faith. Stephen, keep the commandments. Cortez, keep the faith. KG, keep the commandments. Israel, keep the faith. Israel, keep the commandments. Lost sheep. Order of Melchizedek.
They will start reading books, and they will realize that the world is so much bigger than the world they live in. They will never be content to be enslaved. And whatever you do, don't ever let a slave be divided. That's the magnitude of it.
Tupelo, Mississippi. Israel, keep the faith. Israel, keep the commandments. Lost sheep. Order of Melchizedek. Tupelo, Mississippi. Israel, keep the faith. Israel, keep the commandments. Lost sheep. Order of Melchizedek. Michael, keep the faith. Stephen, keep the commandments. Cortez, keep the faith. KG, keep the commandments. Israel, keep the faith. Israel, keep the commandments. Lost sheep. Order of Melchizedek. Tupelo, Mississippi. We love the Most High. We serve the Most High. We love the Most High. We serve the Most High. Tupelo, Mississippi. Israel, keep the faith. Israel, keep the commandments. Lost sheep. Order of Melchizedek. Tupelo, Mississippi. Israel, keep the faith. Israel, keep the commandments. Lost sheep. Order of Melchizedek.